Oh dear. Well, we've got 10 seconds left to go to start the map, guys. As you probably recognized, we are on Hollywood. The attacking team is going to be, I was going to say is going to be reinforced. It is going to be Rogue. Reunited are defending, and just like on Gibraltar, although maybe not by quite as much, they're being given just a little bit of room so that if they do pick off Reunited, it's not quite as far for them to respawn. You don't want to have to defend in a position where your opponents can just come back straight away, and we have got Farah coming out on this map. As you can see, the rockets coming down via AKM as he looks to move over the wall. Pretty standard move. To gain a little bit of position on your opponents and force them to go back beyond where the capture point is.
Yeah, I'm watching AKM as well. Since he did mention Farah on that previous map, I figure we'll show her a little love now that someone actually has selected her. And this tactic is basically the whole reason you do it. Farah and Mercy make a great combo here on point A. The time that Farah is actually able to be shot at is very low, and there's actually no TwoEasy Widowmaker right now. TwoEasy's playing Symmetra instead, so Farah actually has a much greater free reign, as you see, not dying a single time yet. Even having Unkoe res the teammates, Farah's just doing a great job staying alive, pouring damage in. It's just consistent damage. You don't see him actually scooping a lot of kills, but he is building up that barrage ultimate, and there he does have his ultimate available. He's going to be able to take out Reinhardt with the rest of his team. I feel like there's no healer.
Oh.
There's the Mercy. Okay, and defense actually still hanging on. Now it's the attackers that are starting to fall.
Very nice from Vallutaja, managing to grab 2 with the Deadeye there, but getting a kill just before that. I want to commend him for not actually attacking. He came very close to fanning Kruise. Zarya managed to get a shield on him just in time, and that Vallutaja, with about a third of a second to spare, just held off and ducked into a nearby room and came out and killed 2 other people instead. So just great reactions based on what the opposing team are doing here. And that, I think, started the sequence that won them that fight. So now Rogue are going to have to come in for round 2, and Graviton Surge starts things off, but that gets entirely stopped by Kruise on the sound barrier. Unfortunately, the barrage to follow it up does quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, but the res to follow that up brought everyone up. Vallutaja with the Deadeye scores 3 kills in the aftermath of the res, so perfect timing there from Reunited just across all those ultimates. Does leave them still in full control of that point. Not even a tick taken by Rogue so far.
This is very, very well played so far by Reunited. They are constantly looking for the best position to defend in. Reinforce has his ultimate available. Winz also has a sound barrier available to potentially push through to the first checkpoint. Symmetra on TwoEasy. Oh, doing a very good job with the turrets. Annoying Tviq a little bit as now Rogue move through the archway. They're starting to get a little serious. AKM and IDDQD coming in from above, and that aerial position might allow them some good hits. AKM doing a fantastic job with Mercy in support as well, and I think this might be enough to grab the first point here.
Yeah, I didn't
Morte
see.
goes down.
It looks like the defensive. Yeah, Morte actually used his ult and then immediately died. It's hard to tell sometimes if you're not looking directly at them which side actually got rezzed, but it looks like defense again still in control here. Reunited not letting up any anything actually. But now we have all 5 of the 6 defenders or attackers actually moving in here. IDDQD with his Deadeye up, waiting for people to walk into his field of view. He does cancel it, gets the flash and fan on Reinhardt there in the corner, does take out Reinhardt. That's bad for the defense here with only a couple of flimsy characters left. Vallutaja on the point, trying to deal with reinforce. There's the res for the offense to bring everyone back in. So defense really needs to hang on here. Sound barrier saved for a perfect moment. There's another Deadeye from IDDQD, another attempt coming in, but he has no targets again. 1 tick taken. He did get Kruise, there you go. And then Graviton Surge here for the attacking team does catch just Morte, so Morte, of course, going to get torched down by Tviq's Zarya, and suddenly point A is in full control of the attackers. 4 standing on the point, there it goes. 4 minutes and 4 seconds left now to push through the next Wild West section of Hollywood here.
And the one thing that was worth pointing out, when Kruise went down, normally you would go, hang on a second, that's Lucio, the first to fall in this team fight. His ultimate was also at 4%, so no sound barrier was otherwise going to be available to Reunited. But of course, at the time, you see a support, you kill a support, and you hope that the team fight goes in your favor. It turns out that wasn't even needed, and therefore, we are now contesting point number 2, courtesy of Rogue taking that objective. Reunited now grouped up on top. Aerial dominance in this bit key. We sometimes, or at least we used to, see people potentially picking D.Va so they could fly in and self-destruct to get the defending team off the rooftop, for example. No such shenanigans here, and here comes Reunited going down with Unfixed and Winghaven. scoring a good kill actually to start things off with on Reinhardt, and the I think Rogue are going to have to back off here without Reinforced to help. AKM also not able to support with DPS.
Yeah, I'm just kind of cycling through the attacking team now, just looking at their positions a little bit, and it looks like they are waiting for everyone to get together here so they can have Winz speed boost everyone back onto the payload. I'm actually going to watch AKM because he does have Barrage available. He is very likely going to be going toward the rooftops here, either on the right side or the left side, and attacking, you know, whoever's up there. TwoEasy most likely going to be up on top of the rooftops. They're still waiting. They're still waiting. Finally, everyone's here.
Where's IDDQD going to go? Yeah, he's not going to be using his ultimate unless he can get into a nice sneaky position. Great flashbang actually picking off Vallutaja, but instant res from both sides, and this has suddenly turned out into an all-out brawl. Both teams are no longer on one side each. They are all in each other's faces. Reinforced, smashing away. He's got a Zarya shield on him, so it's going to take him a little while. TwoEasy is having the time of his life from up top. No one caring about him right now.
Yeah, that's really bad for, it's really, really bad for any team, actually, to leave an unchecked TwoEasy on Widowmaker. They do have AKM swapping off of Pharah onto Winston now. We talked about earlier, AKM was a very good DPS player, but they have been using him in that flex spot. So AKM switching over to Winston should be able to deal with TwoEasy. TwoEasy, realizing this, does drop all the way back now toward that spawn, now jumping up on the jail. There's a Graviton Surge going out. Not sure what they're going to able to get accomplished there. Too many Winston bubbles to allow any real kills to come through there. TwoEasy does get the snipe on Winz, and there's AKM leaping up onto TwoEasy. I'll watch him just a little bit. He does actually fall before getting the chance to take out the sniper, and defense in full control of the payload.
Oh, that was a really sick play from... I was actually watching TwoEasy while you were watching AKM. As soon as he noticed his hit points going down, he shoved his poison straight in front of him, knowing that whoever was attacking him would run into it, and machine gun him on the way down in midair as well. Very, very slick. Took about a quarter of a second for him to do all of that. TwoEasy really on top of his game right now.
Yep, watching TwoEasy just returning... watching the attacking returners, that is, and waiting for that perfect snipe, but of course Reinforce leading the way with his shield up. Keeps all of his teammates safe. They're actually all behind Reinforce. He is taking the entire weight of his team right now to prevent TwoEasy from getting these kills. And finally, they are starting to move the payload, but the contesting is there now from the defense. Unfixed and Winghaven both jumping in there, trying to swat people away, and the snipes are still just coming in. You can hear those hit markers almost every time he pulls the trigger here. There's wall hacks actually available as well, but they have killed enough of the offense that he's going to save that for their next push. Another 20-30 seconds going to bleed off the clock here, and Rogue is in dire straits.
Yeah, so just to point out what happened there, by the way, in the Reinhardt battle, Winghaven did such a good job of shutting down Reinforce. He got on top of the payload, which meant there was a height differential between them. So when he was swinging his hammer, the rogue Reinhardt basically has to make a decision. Does Reinforce drop the shield to try and swing, or does he keep the shield up? The problem is that gets interrupted if he gets hit from the wrong angle. He had absolutely nowhere to go. And now we have more heroes running in. Reinforce coming off the back of Winghaven once again, this time at least managing to kill him off. There's the res on behalf of Team Rogue. Are they going to be able to get anything out? Vallutaja takes out Tviq. He gets taken out in turn by Reinhardt, who instantly goes down as well. I've got no clue what's happening. Winz seems to be the only person on the payload right now, but that's actually being pushed forward. If he can solo push that while Reunited aren't looking, okay, Unfixed is back on the monkeys, and there's no way Winz is going to be able to stay alive there.
Right, I took a really wide view there just to be able to catch all that business that was happening over on the backside. Actually, now AKM still able to extend that overtime and stay alive. He's just jumping in constantly. There's another extension there from Reinforce, and it looks like defense still holding strong. Overtime is ticking down. Reinforce has a chance to extend it. There he does, but as he falls, I think the hopes are going to start to fall as well for Rogue. McCree not going to be able to contest, and that is going to be it. Solid defense there, only allowing point A to be taken. Reunited looking great here today on this Friday.
And I believe that was 4 minutes and 4 seconds for A as well?
Yeah, so right after the cap, they had 4:04. I think that one adds 2 minutes, or maybe 3 minutes.
Right.
So
and Morte gets played the game as Mercy. I mean, there were some pretty sick res. Are we going to see 2 in this play of the game?
Heroes never die.
No, it wasn't the mutual res.
Well, big res brings 3 people back up into the fight. They managed to defend successfully, so well earned there. Now we're going to flip sides.
It's a tricky one when you get a Mercy play of the game when these guys are playing, because on average you have 4 to 5 super sick reses in a game, and as soon as you see Mercy with play of the game, you go, well, should that res win it or should that res win it? Well, R's and W's all mixed up, but you kind of get the point. There's like a lot. there are a lot of play of the games you could have picked from that game just from either team's Mercy, to be honest.
Cool. Yeah. I think with Reunited attacking here, Mercy's obviously going to be in tow for both sides once again. I think the compositions are probably going to look very similar. The only difference I'm really interested in seeing is if defense actually does go with a Symmetra this time around. There was no teleporter really. It didn't seem like a teleporter made a huge difference there on point A. Yeah. I could be wrong, but there was just constant streaming action. It didn't seem like we were going on about how the teleporter was preventing the attackers to do anything. I think it was more just the reses in general that were the superstar there.
Yeah, there were, I mean, a couple of turrets put down. We saw Symmetra get to a point where, yes, the teleporter's down, but like you said, Joshy, at no point did we think, hang on a second, this is actually really swinging the tide of the game. The game was really fast-paced, to be honest, and while the cut number of seconds, I suppose, is useful, I think the sheer amount of damage that was being dealt by Pharah and the impact of what the heroes are doing on the ground made a far, far bigger impact on the game than Symmetra could, admittedly. And as a result, I don't think we're going to be seeing any defense from a Symmetra this time around. We actually have AKM on Bastion here, and that's going to be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, Bastion actually was kind of a surprise. I was taking his POV as a Reaper for a second there, as I am usually a fan of watching defensive Reaper, but he has swapped on over to Bastion. So we'll see. He is a pro player. Again, these are two of the best teams in the world right now. Before all the open beta players and release players get a chance to catch up, these guys are firmly ahead of everyone else. So definitely curious to see what a pro Bastion player does. Setting up behind the weeds is not a bad idea there.
He's picked the green skin as well, like super camo.
Crafty.
And is he actually going to stay there? He is going to stay there. Oh wow! And instantly getting spotted, as you would, of course, from Reunited. Unfixed specifically on Pharah now moving in, so we are going to get some Pharah action. Unfixed now, again, coming in, immediately going for AKM, not waiting at all. But he gets picked off a little bit too quickly there, AKM with the DPS from behind, but he goes down, and that's going to allow the rest of Reunited to push forward.
That was so risky. I don't know why they did that. Bastion fell so quickly, and now they're at a huge disadvantage. They lost a McCree and a Bastion right off the bat, and suddenly the attacking team is looking in a very good position. They've got basically everyone alive, stomping all over the point right now. Tviq by himself, as Zarya does actually get pushed into safety by that boop of Kruise, but no one really falling there. Tviq and Winz finally do go down, and the attacking team Reunited still just looks like they are totally on point today. There's a nice Earth Shatter from Reinforce. Of course, that's not going to be enough. Barrage into the doorway means that this should secure the point A capture here eventually. As all these players are trickling in, they have a chance to extend, but at this point I would say it's very unlikely that Reunited doesn't take point A here as they trickle in.
Yeah, that was very, very nicely played, and they're going to be able to grab points. That was pretty smooth, to be honest, Joshy. That was buttered toast from Reunited, and they're going to be looking to just go ahead and clean that up. And I think because they captured it faster, that makes it GG as well, doesn't it?